My name is Jake Shimabukuro. I was born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii, and I've been playing the ukulele since I was 4 years old. It's the underdog of all instruments, and when people see it, they don't expect to hear all these sounds coming from this little sound box. It just kind of freaks them out. And because of that, you know, there's that element of surprise. And I think in music, you know, or in any kind of art form, people like to be surprised.
To most people, the piano, properly played, is music. But music has no country and no particular medium. The early Greek instrument was the lyre. Can it be that such a noble instrument was the father of this one? We refuse to believe it.
For many, the ukulele is a joke. It's a kitschy Hawaiian novelty, or a relic from some bygone era. For baby boomers, it was a popular toy. But eventually, the rise of the rock and roll guitar pushed the nerdy ukulele into obscurity. That is, until now. The ukulele has returned. And it's the most curious comeback in music history.
I feel it's an honest instrument. Anyone can learn how to play a couple chords, and then all of a sudden we could sit around a circle and sing songs together, and it's a people's instrument.
People all over the world are unleashing their inner music.
There's a lot of music in the ukulele. A lot of music in the ukulele.
There's something about it that I think represents sort of a paradise lost. It's this time and this place that was innocent and at the same time kind of wild and crazy.
I would never have dreamed that I'd be traveling all over the country, that I'd be playing ukulele festivals. I never had dreamed that.
It seems that there is a movement now. There's a ukulele revolution going on.
Welcome to an alternate musical universe.
Wait a minute, this is all like messing with my head because I'd really comfortably put the ukulele in this little shoebox and it was tightly closed right here in my mind as this.
Everybody asks, is it a violin or is that a gun? And you know, it's a ukulele, it makes people happy.
Here's my first uke. Hey, I've actually never thanked this uke before. Thank you for everything you've given me. Tonight's our monthly meeting for the Ukulele Club of Santa Cruz, and tonight's my favorite meeting.
The sign-ups for open mic will start at 6:30.
Twice a year, we do open mic amateur night, and tonight's the night.
Okay, Art, you're 1.
Okay.
Okay, Selena, you are 6. You're spot 6.
The Ukulele Club of Santa Cruz began as a campy Hawaiian party. Today, it's a music community of thousands.
we'd strum our ukuleles.
The ukulele has this wonderful way of keeping things accessible. And the fact that there's warble in the music and warble in the voices and even warble in the walk of a few of us, that's a non-issue. It's so heartwarming to see the huge smiles on people's faces when they get up and do that first song for the first time.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's a dark and a troubled side of life. There's a bright and a sunny side too. Though you meet with the darkness.
From a restaurant in California to a pub in England, no DJ or jukebox, just voices and ukuleles.
Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side, and keep on the sunny side of life.
The ukulele cuts through the commercialism of music. It allows you to be a musician on your street corner, in your living room, down your local pub.
This musical revolution knows no borders. In Japan, Takatoshi Odojima and his friends have a ukulele afternoon.
I wanted to play guitar or piano, but I was not a good player. But once I discovered this ukulele, it is the easiest instrument I've ever had.
And in Israel,
people are amazed from both sides that Arabic Jewish people can get along, but we kind of felt that we have the same language, you know, that we have our own language.
Politics fall away, ethnicity falls away, the gender falls away, all of those things. Better than really anything I've ever seen in my life. It's a unifying force.
The whole thing was an accident. I mean, you know, we didn't go to college to go into the ukulele business.
once upon a time, Jim and Liz Beloff had established careers in the entertainment industry.
Liz and I are big-time flea market nuts, and one day about 15 years ago, we walked by a whole bunch of stuff on a blanket, and there was a ukulele on it, and it jumped up and said, "Take me home." Here was this instrument with 2 fewer strings than a guitar, and yet the sophistication of the chords was all there, and I had no idea that you could get that kind of pretty sound out of what I thought was sort of a novelty instrument. So the next thing I did was I tried to track down old ukulele songbooks. So I recall nobody had them. Why? Because the ukulele had fallen completely off the pop culture radar. You know, if you went into a music store and you looked in the ukulele section, there was nothing there. And that was when the light bulb went off. This is the first book we did with a goofy head. Then we did the How to Play book, Jumpin' Jim's Ukulele Tips and Tunes. How to do a Christmas book, kids songs. And then we started to fall in love with sort of spirituals. This was maybe one of the most fun to work on. We've sold almost 300,000 songbooks. It is scratching some kind of deep itch that may not have even been experienced in a lot of us. You can take your first finger and do the bar there, and then take your middle finger. And then the question becomes, well, why this and not pianos or harps or violas? And I'm not entirely sure, except that when you think of the ukulele, you bring along all of your associations with Hawaii.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Waikiki, Chris and Daniel do what Hawaiians have done for generations. They're making music together with their ukuleles.
I've been playing ukulele ever since I was 6. Whenever I can pick this thing up, I just jam until, my fingers hurt and I have to go to bed.
When I was young growing up, there was, at least my experience was, there was an ukulele in every house in Hawaii.
Here comes Aurea.
It wasn't as if it was like an instrument that you learn to play. You just pick it up and just start strumming away.
In Honolulu, the ukulele is everywhere. It's a universal symbol of this tropical getaway, and a cheap souvenir for the millions who vacation here. But an hour outside of town, on the dry side of the island, the ukulele is much more than that. It's a connection to the past, to what was once the great kingdom of Hawaii. Jared, Auntie Leimomi, and Honey Boy have been at jams like this since they were kids. It's something they call kanikapila.
Kanikapila is when a bunch of your buddies get together, your friends, family, and we just have a jam session, and everyone takes turns. You sing one, you sing one, you sing one, you sing one, yeah, it goes right around it. And we just enjoy playing. The love of Hawaiian music has kept us close, yeah.
You like kind of feel that's really jamming. You don't have to worry about the crowd or if you're doing good or what, you just do what you can do. That's it.
In kanikapila, it wasn't even necessary that you play an instrument. The only thing somewhat necessary is that you respect the people who are there and not get in their way, and have a love and respect for the music.
The ukulele first appeared in Hawaii in the late 1800s, about a half century after missionaries first brought Christian hymns to the islands. Before then, Hawaiian music didn't have familiar conventions like harmony and melody. Chanting, percussion, and dance told the stories of the gods and the kings. But there was no ukulele. That's because the instrument, so symbolic of Hawaii, actually has its ancestry on the other side of the planet, on another tiny island, Portuguese Madeira. Natives on this wine-making island played the 5-string rajau and its tiny 4-string cousin, the braguinha. In the 1870s, Madeira suffered a drought. Thousands were forced to emigrate. And wherever they went, they brought their instruments with them. With an invitation from the King of Hawaii, thousands of Portuguese braved the 4-month trip around the tip of South America to their new home. And their odd musical instruments had an immediate impact.
During the past week, a band of Portuguese musicians have been delighting the people with nightly street concerts. The musicians are true performers on their strange instruments. We confess to having enjoyed the music ourselves and look forward to hearing more of it.
When word reached the royal palace, it caught the attention of Hawaii's king, David Kalakaua.
Most of the things that we have here at the museum are not out on exhibit. And these ukuleles, these early ukulele that we have here, are a couple of those pieces that we keep in the back. Hello.
Hello.
Coming through. Is Betty going to set up here in her office?
Yeah, she's in the office now and it's already set up. So.
Okay. Here we have some of the earliest ukuleles on exhibit. This one, according to our records here at the museum, was presented by Kalakaua to a family as a gift here in 1890. So it has come from the king, and how he got it, we're not certain, but it is part of his collection.
King Kalakaua was the first monarch to circumnavigate the globe. He was visiting world leaders trying to discover a way to rejuvenate his ailing kingdom, ravaged by Western disease.
He was aware that there was this decline in population, there was a decline in morale. The base of that was the fact that we were losing some of our traditions. He had traveled the world and made these treaties to bring in labor, but he understood that those cultures would bring themselves, whatever came with them. Yeah, this one.
These finely crafted instruments caught the king's fancy. And when Portuguese luthiers applied the tuning of the 5-string rajau to the body of the 4-string briguinha, a new instrument was born. And it ended up in the hands of the king.
He was the merry monarch. Now, did he know other instruments? Oh my God. They all did in Hawaii. They had grand pianos and guitars. They knew all that stuff. But he just loved that little ukulele. And because it was joyful, and that was part of his personality. He was a party giver and a party goer. In fact, he threw some parties that went on for several weeks,
Koniao, which is his famous drinking song, is a great song for playing ukulele on because the keys are very simple and it's easy enough to add that beat of the Koniao, Koniao, ika wai chika 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 ching.
The king encouraged its use in the revival of traditional music and dance, and within a few years, the ukulele became part of the Hawaiian musical palette. Kalakaua died at the age of only 55, and just a few years later, Hawaii was annexed by the United States. But his passion for the ukulele had brought together two cultures. And the song Aloha Oi, written by his sister and played on the ukulele, would become the signature song of Hawaii. By the beginning of the 20th century, a small industry had started up. Hawaii had fallen in love with the ukulele.
When I lived there as a young boy, I was known as a kid as the best ukulele player in the world. Of course, they say that. They don't know when you see the world, it's exaggerated. Somebody going to be better than you. But at that time, I played the hell out of this instrument. I really played better that time, I think, than I do now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bill Tapia.
Bill Tapia picked up his first uke in 1915 and recently celebrated his 101st birthday.
I want to learn to speak Hawaiian so I could say the prettiest things to you. I want to learn to sing Hawaiian so I can do the hula hula too.
He taught Shirley Temple how to play, and Betty Grable, and Jimmy Durante. And as a kid, he witnessed firsthand the growing infatuation with the ukulele.
It's gonna thrill me through and through. Every place I went, I had the ukulele with me. Even when I went to school, I used to distract the class. They'd follow me during recess, and I'd play outside the school, and we'd go back in class late. Every place I went, I'd ride on streetcars. They had trolley cars. I had the uke with me. The conductor said, go in the back. I go in the back seat and I play, and everybody started singing and every damn thing in the streetcar. When I was 16, I worked on ships going from Honolulu to LA. I played ukulele for Hawaiian music. They use Hawaiian music on a ship for dinner. That was my first big break.
It was also the ukulele's big break. As more and more mainlanders discovered their new American paradise, a thirst for the exotic sounds of Hawaii was growing. In 1915, it hit critical mass.
We've got to hand it to you.
San Francisco has been a trend-setting city for decades. And it was here that the ukulele first found a spotlight on the world stage. For Dan Scanlon, this place is something of a shrine.
Well, we're standing in the Marina District of San Francisco, in the very spot where the Pan-Pacific International Exposition was held in 1915.
From reclaimed ground on the Golden Gate shores, there arose like magic a beautiful city of jewels. She surely knew.
This was one of the world's great cultural exhibitions. 24 countries and all 48 states had exhibits. And right in the center of it all was a pavilion for America's new Hawaiian territory. "17 million people visited the exposition, and crowds were enthralled by the tones of the Hawaiian Quintet. Their leader, Henry Kalimai, had just written a song, in English and Hawaiian, that was going to alter the course of American pop culture.
That song sold more records and more sheet music than any other single in 1915 and 1916. Everybody wanted to experience the song, the exotic rhythms of Hawaii, and of course, On the Beach at Waikiki was a perfect song for that because it gave you the location.
There was a big thing to see a little ankle. And here the Hawaiians are, beautiful brown-toned people, playing ukuleles and doing hula dances and showing lots of skin, and it was quite acceptable. It was wonderful. The next year, RCA Victor's catalog of records, which were brand new at the time, it was a vast majority of them were Hawaiian-based, you know.
The ukulele arrived in New York City at the same time that millions of immigrants were starting a new life in America.
We're on 28th Street, the home of Tin Pan Alley, and this is where it all began for the songwriting industry. By the light of a silvery moon, I want to speak to my honey I'll croon love's tune. A lot of the great classic Tin Pan Alley songs were written on piano, but it was marketed to the masses with this little instrument in mind. You would find the ukulele chord symbols on all the pieces of sheet music, and of course, this was the instrument of the people. This was something everybody could afford or within reach, you know? So even though the songs are written on piano, this was the vehicle by which folks could actually enjoy these songs.
Ukulele baby, of love I'm singing, but you keep ringing. You just got me crazy, the way you roll.
The uke's tight rhythm was perfect for jazz, and a generation tossed off Victorian morals, launching a decade-long party.
But you get cooler, ukulele baby.
Ukuleles were selling by the millions. They could swing hard, get a laugh, and get the girl.
He knew just what loving was invented for. So when she starts crying love songs, he starts to sigh to her.
It was the music of the young. And this little instrument went right along with the fashion. It was as much a symbol of being collegiate as a raccoon coat. Now, you couldn't always afford a raccoon coat, but you can go to Sears Roebuck and get one for a few bucks.
The great ukulele craze put music in the hands of millions of amateur musicians. The backlash was inevitable.
There's a guy I'd like to kill, and if he doesn't stop, I will. Got a ukulele and a voice that's loud and shrill. And he lives next door to me, and he keeps me up till 3 with his ukulele and his funny melody. Crazy words, crazy tune, all you'll ever hear him croon is vo-do-do-de-o, vo-do-do-de-o-do.
By the early 30s, the fad had faded. Jazz evolved into other rhythms that the ukulele couldn't follow.
Here's a real surprise. For them or for me? Oh, this is a surprise for everyone.
Good. For a minute, I thought you were going to bring back Tiny Tim.
In 1968, the ukulele returned to the pop charts, propelling the instrument into a very different realm of pop culture.
Wait till you see this. Tiny has added a bit of choreography to his usual presentation.
There is nothing usual about Tiny Tim's presentation.
I'll tiptoe through the window, by the window, that is where I'll be. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me.
Tiny Tim was this guy who started to appear on television like crazy. And he was kind of considered a big cartoon and pretty much a joke to the world at large. Beneath the cartoon that most people think of when they think of Tiny Tim was a guy who was just deeply in love with the material that he performed. He was an absolute encyclopedia of American popular music from the early 1900s, of the 30s or 40s. The reason he got into the uke was that it was an instrument that he could audition with, and then if they hated it, he could escape fast. He carried it not in a uke case, but in a paper bag. And so it came out of the paper bag fast, he did his number, and if the response was less than positive, he could put it back in the paper bag and beat a hasty exit.
The uke became known as the instrument of wackos and weirdos, and sales dropped off a cliff. The instrument was once again consigned to the trash heap of history. This time for about 30 years.
Initially, it was with the concert for George Harrison, where the baby boomer generation of rock stars came out as uke players. I interview rock stars as a job, and the people you would least likely expect to have ukes, play ukes, and love ukes, had ukes. Somehow this tiny little instrument that nobody really took seriously was shown as something that people you took seriously, but in a not serious way. There's so much ambiguity about a uke.
In the 21st century, the ukulele is finding its way back into the spotlight as musicians rediscover a unique musical voice.
As a kid, I always was finding things in the trash. And we saw someone, I guess, pick up this ukulele and put it down in the trash, kind of out the window. I watched it for a little while to see if anyone was going to come back for it. And when they didn't, I went out and picked it up. And I don't think it had all the strings on it, but it had some cool stickers. And I've been playing it ever since. My buddy, my man, my partner, my G, my homie, my first compadre. No kind of emotion, no reason, no logic can explain the way that we linked it, we locked it. My buddy, my brother, my bra. Never be lonely if I could call ya. Talk some with nonsensical shit that nobody else get. This is it, and I wanna say, I remember when we first met, it was maybe August. Sometimes I think if I heard like, oh, you wanna come hear some ukulele hip hop, I probably wouldn't be that interested in it. But with hip hop, I think it actually is really well suited because I was writing songs on the ukulele before, but when I hit the hip hop thing, I really felt like I hit my stride.
You know a good song if you can play it on the ukulele and it sounds amazing. You know that it's a good song. There's no fluff, there's no tracks to cover up. If it's a good song, it'll come through by playing it on the ukulele and singing. Tell me stars and moonbeams twinkle in the sky. Tell me that my world is pink, not blue, and I'll be alright. I'll be just fine. Tell me dolphins sing, starfish lullabies, butterfly kisses, dry my eyes. I'll be alright. I'll be just fine. Well, I've been singing in bands since I was 15, and that really dates me. I'll just leave it at that. But I've been in a bunch of cover bands, and I sang backups for about 4 years for Johnny Otis. But until I started writing songs and playing the ukulele, I didn't really find my voice because I was singing other people's music. Tell me mermaids know where buried treasure grows. Tell me that my world is pink, not blue, and I'll be alright. I'll be just fine. I'll be alright. I'll be just fine. In the key of C, the people's key. Last summer, I quit my job at the record store to follow a dream. And in the last year, I have been touring and playing music, and that's how I've been making my living. There's so many reasons why I love the ukulele, but one is most people still don't take it seriously in the real world, so I think I'm just bringing a toy. I never have to explain myself when I go through customs. I don't need special rigs or roadies. Take groupies, but not roadies.
An hour south of Los Angeles, Canadian James Hill is making a pilgrimage of sorts.
There's this community of people who are crazy enough to try to make their living doing this, and you get to see them at like every gig.
Tonight, James is performing in Carlsbad, California. The Museum of Making Music is celebrating the ukulele with a concert and an exhibit dedicated to the instrument's place in American culture.
The ukulele is always fighting the novelty factor. It's so good at being a novelty, you know, but if it's going to really survive and become an instrument like any other instrument, and not that I'm saying that would be a good thing, but you know what I mean. You know, it'll stick around and it'll be part of the musical landscape for generations to come. If we're going to do that, we got to be creative. The driving force of some of my work is, what is the ukulele in and of itself? What can the ukulele do in its native tongue that maybe another instrument just couldn't do as well?
When he's at home in the Nova Scotia wilderness, James Hill composes music for the ukulele that he hopes will be taken seriously.
I wrote one small suite for ukulele because I had to. I wrote it to prove to myself that this was possible, and it also seemed slightly radical to make the ukulele the focus of an orchestral piece.
James and his partner, Ann Davison, both classically trained musicians, are taking the ukulele into unknown territory.
I just wanted to push it, like pedal to the metal, see how far can I go before this thing just explodes on me.
And in the process, he's discovered something that sets it apart from other instruments.
The ukulele is a strumming machine. That seems to be its native voice, is the strum. And there are all sorts of things you can do with the strum. And the kind of, the sonic boom moment is where you start making more sounds than moves. That's a sort of a magic moment, when the soundtrack and the visuals don't sync up. That fries people's brains and they love it. Was that together?
So why would a virtuoso pick the ukulele as his favorite instrument?
Ready, go. It actually wasn't so much how I came to the ukulele, but how the ukulele came to me. Your turn. In the community where I grew up, Langley, British Columbia, they have a wonderful tradition of teaching elementary music education through the ukulele. So in grade 4, I got a standard issue ukulele, just like all of my other classmates, and had to do 2 years of mandatory service. It's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Just outside Vancouver, this sleepy bedroom community looks like any other.
You know what? You handled that beautifully. Well done. Because the reality is, we need the portable. I'll see you sometime after my long principals meeting tomorrow morning.
But there is one big difference.
1, 2, 1, and. Stop. Let's start that again. That's very good. That's great playing. You're going to hear it on my left-hand side. It's right on. Yeah, make it a little bit more intense, a little bit more mysterious. Ready? 1, 2, 1, and.
And that difference is Peter Luongo.
The very first time I stood in front of a group of students, started to teach them to play it, and saw that as I started adding harmony, added a chordal accompaniment to it, that I had kids making music.
I like it.
I grew up playing the accordion. Another really loved instrument, and another one that's got a reputation and where you have to win people over. As a young college student, I attended university, and they offered a course in classroom music instruction that featured a ukulele.
Follow my tempo, dee-dee-da.
And I just believe that this is among the most effective ways to teach music to children.
Canada has a long tradition of teaching kids music with the ukulele.
I was brought in as a first-year teacher, had very early success with a group of students who wanted to learn. We probably have, I'm going to say, close to 1,000 kids who are learning to play.
Tonight is the annual ukulele recital.
My daughter started first with the recorder, which was not something we really enjoyed that much, but you know, you don't like to discourage them. But I was certainly happy when she brought home the ukulele, because even at the beginning, you can play something that sounds like music.
The best players form the Senior A Orchestra.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Langley Ukulele Ensemble will now perform Tingle Tingle. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
How did I recognize that all of this was possible? It didn't take much. Once students could see what they could do with the instrument, it became about me making sure that I was competent enough to teach them to take their full potential to place.
First, the first left hand. 1, 2, 1.
The ukulele is seen as something insignificant. It's seen as something that you can't be serious about. Part of the allure for me is that I get the opportunity to change that perception.
Well, I've been in the ensemble for 6 years now. I've been playing since grade 4, though, so it's just always been in my life, ukulele. I know in elementary school, you say, you know, well, I play the ukulele, but, you know, it's dumb. I know, my mom's making me do it. But that's definitely changed as you get up through the groups and as you realize the type of music that you're making is really, really advanced. play the ukulele and you just let out all your emotions into your playing. It is magical in a way, I would say. You know, you can create really nice harmonies and melodies and rhythm at the same time and accompany that with your voice. And it's really, really empowering too.
So why would a bunch of teenagers give up their evenings and weekends for the ukulele? Because every summer, they get to go to Hawaii.
My teacher had told us eventually you could get into a group that goes to Hawaii. I just knew I needed to be in that group.
Every year, the Langley Ukulele Ensemble has a 2-week house gig at the Sheraton Waikiki.
Never mind the handshake.
Yeah, brothers don't shake hands. Brothers hug.
Kaini Pelikai is an ukulele player, choral director, and a part-time firefighter.
Yeah, let me see the words. Okay, how many of you have the words memorized?
Nobody.
Negative.
And he teaches the kids traditional Hawaiian songs every time they come to the islands.
Go. Okay, good. Listen to the words by itself. Lo ko I no mauoli no oe e ke hoa. Ho I oe e ke ho. Okay, we're cutting it out. Ho I no mauoli no ho I oe e ke.
I definitely enjoy playing the Hawaiian music on the uke. Just, you know, it's Hawaiian instrument, most popular in Hawaii. So you just get that feeling it's just meant for the ukulele.
We have a fairly big Hawaiian repertoire, and you kind of get a hang or feel for like the Hawaiian words. After playing it for a while, you just you can feel it.
The novelty of foreign kids performing on Hawaii's instrument isn't lost on the local media.
Once again, Peter Longo, the director over here, putting in this rigorous schedule, just making them work so hard.
Here, the ukulele is serious business. These kids will do 2 to 5 shows a day, give daily lessons to hotel guests, and study with the Hawaiian masters of the instrument. But the highlight of the trip is performing in the Hawaiian communities that have inspired so much of the music that the group plays.
Welcome to the heat of Nanakuli. That's why we sing. That's why we have to sing. That's where the ukulele came from. We'd be very depressed if we didn't have an instrument to keep us occupied in the afternoon sun. Back in the 1800s, much like a lot of your First Nations people, Hawaiians were moved off of the prime land and put into land that was arid and dry. To your right is one of the original homestead properties that was created for people of Hawaiian ancestry. Unfortunately, throughout time, being from this part of the community, you get stereotyped and you fit this picture. But a lot of the songs you play come out of this box, come out of this area of Hawaii.
The audience knows this as a song of praise written for their last king. But for the Langleys, it's an intimate cultural exchange they'll never forget.
Teachers live for the aha moment when the light bulb goes on. And really, as a musical director, this is an offshoot of that. I'm not in a classroom, or maybe better stated, my classroom is different. My classroom is the stage. And when that audience responds as they do, you know you've hit it.
Tonight is the last show of the trip. And for those graduating, it's the last time they'll play with the group they've been part of for nearly half their lives.
It is sad knowing that you can't be a part of this forever, but continuing friendships, like you see it all the time when people leave, their friendships just stay like that.
You know, the friends I still keep in touch with from Langley are ukulele friends. And it's because that connection and the experiences were so much more profound and varied and rich. And that was all, you know, thanks to the instrument and what we were doing with it.
This humble instrument, born in a wood shop in Honolulu, became a star on Broadway and in Hollywood. It's brought cultures together and put music in the hands of the many. Maybe it's time we showed the ukulele a little respect.